Okay, now let's part chapter 6.2. We will discuss how to define a function, what is the details. So actually it's on your textbook page 172. First of all, function definitions consist of function name, parameters, and main content. For example, this is a defined function, and this is a function. We use the definition. After that, it would be the function name. And we use the parenthesis right here, and we will make the formal parameter here. This is the first parameter, that's the second parameters. Okay, so and this part is the main body. Main body is the main content of the function, right? And sometimes we will have the return in finally, because when we call a function, then we want to get some result. So it will return the result back to the places what the program called it. Okay, call the function places. And when we call in the function, we just do that. For example, we use the name, function name, and we put extra parameters. Yeah, x, y, and xy will put inside back here. Yeah, and x will be equal to first number 1, and y will equal the number 2. And so it will do the following things. If number 1 larger than number 2, then result is number 1, else the result is number 2. So no matter which one, return the result to the places which you call it. So actually we will get the result, and the result which is larger, then the result will equal z. So it's a calling function. So the syntax of the defining a function is as follow. Definition, function name could be anything. You can define it by yourself. And when you define the function name, it will become blue, different color, and list of the parameters. And inside, yeah, you have to make the some spaces with the tab key, right? And this will become the 4 spaces. It's this part, it's the main function main body, just like this part. Yeah, function body. So the following is the definition of the function to find the maximum value of the 2 digits. When we call that, it will call the function and return the result back to this position and give to the z. Yeah, it's the basic definition of the function. So how can we call a function? Just like what we said, calling a function will execute the code of the function. So in the function definition, we define the function of the function. Yeah, to use the function, you must call or invoke the function. Call means I want it to do something. Okay, or we call that invoke, right? And the program that calls the function is called the caller. So we will have the 2 parts. For example, just back to here, like here. This is a caller. This is a function. So the z equal max xy, we call the function. So this part is the caller, right? It's the function. So the program that calls the function is called the caller. According to whether the function has a return value, there are 2 ways to call a function. Yes, it means sometimes you may have the return value. Sometimes you may not have the return value. So if the function has a return value, then the calling value will be treated as a normal value. For example, when it is have a return, that the value will give to the larger, right? Okay, another example is a code that is also considered general value is as follow. So it's a value, right? So you can also directly print it. You print the function, but actually function is a return value, is a normal value. So you can just print it. So we can make a practice. Please please write a function max with 2 parameters. Calling max will return a large number. Okay, the content of the main program is ask the user to enter, so it's interactive with the user. Enter 2 numbers. Call max to return the larger of the 2 numbers. So print out just like this. The larger number of these 2 numbers is this one, right? So we can try this. Use the idle here. So actually, we wanted the user to enter 2 numbers, but we have to definition of max. Yeah, max. We have 2 parameters. Maybe you can use A1. I just want to make different that you know it's not fixed. So we will ask if the A1 larger than A2, then the larger is A1, else the larger is A2, right? Very simple, very easy. And then we will return larger to the caller, right? So make sure you do not make anything wrong. And we will also have a main function, right? Because the question here wants us to have a main function, main program, and ask the user to enter 2 numbers. So we ask, so it is, maybe N1, N2. The reason I do not use this, that means it could be totally different, right? Because different function will use different parameters, and it is a local variable, so it's not have any conflicts or affect each other. So we wanted the user to input. So we will call that EVL input. Please input the N1 and N2. Maybe we use the comma. Yeah. To remind the user, right? And then we want to print the larger. We want to print the larger. So we do not know whether which one is larger. So we call the function. So now the man is a caller, right? It is function. I call that caller. And then we can use the A1 and N2 because in this function, nobody knows what is A1 and N2. So you have to use the N1 and N2. And what is N1 and N2? Finally, we will know because the user will let you know, right? And then it will do nothing until you really call. So this is also another caller. Let's call this function. This code is called the function man. And then function man will ask the user to put 2 numbers, and then he will print the man because it will return the value, right? So let's go. Okay. Okay, we give the 2 number here. So finally we'll give the 5, and then we can try another. Let's try. 9 and 1. So finally will give us 9, right? So it's your turn. Please try this function because we use the 2 functions, and one of that is interactive functions. And finally we call that. So it's your turn.